I am not well. Hello everyone, it is October 26th and I have decided that I will be leaving Big Law. Over the past few weeks, I've been thinking more about what I want to do with my life and where I want my future to go. When I was younger, I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to put my ideas out there. I wanted to really engage in the world of thought. Really, the world of thought is what led me to work in privacy law in the first place. I just thought it was such a fascinating field where new things were happening all the time and novel questions about what is privacy? Why does it matter? Why do we even care? What are the rules governing the strictures of what companies can do? And I thought all of those things were so fascinating. After 5 years in private practice, I feel like I have learned so much about privacy, and I've been developing my own theory about what the importance of privacy is and how our current legal regimes get it wrong. To that end, I've realized that I would really love to explore this idea more and propose my own idea for why privacy matters and why the current legal regimes are wrong. But the question is, how do I explore this idea when I work such a demanding full-time job? I came to the conclusion that I really don't think I'm able to. So starting today, I will be applying to a PhD program. Applications for the PhD program opened up August 15th and closed December 15th. And because it is end of October, I feel a little panicked about starting this process so late. But you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. 3 sets of emails so far. Letters at rec, current PhD candidates, and then just people in my past whom I think might be helpful for figuring out more about this like weird world. The second set of emails that I sent out, current PhD candidates. The PhD candidates, their bios are online, and I went through some of them. I identified the candidates who do law and tech stuff because my research proposal and my book idea is about privacy. I figured I could ask them a little bit about the application process and also their experience with the PhD program. I really went through a spiral today where I realized there were only 8 PhD candidates, and it's 3 years, so for 3 years of admissions, they admitted 8 people. That's like 2 to 3 people per year, which would be a lot if only 5 people applied every year. But if 100 people apply every year and only 2 to 3 people get in, then that's less good of odds. But unlike JD admissions, I could not find information about what the admissions acceptance rate for the PhD program was. And that's the other thing that I've been really confused about is this more like a traditional PhD application program where it's good to have these connections with professors and have an advisor already in mind who is aware of you and who you should try to get to know before you apply? Or is it more like the JD process where you just apply and throw into the ether and then get something back one day? I just don't know. It is October 30th. In the past 2 days, I've spoken with 2 of the current PhD candidates. They were both really nice. They really made themselves available to me pretty quickly. Everything I learned about the program really got me way more excited. One of them told me that they receive about 30 applications every year and they take like 1 to 2 people. One of them offered to send an email to the program director when I submit, and just kind of as a, hey, I talked to this applicant, she submitted, the end. So that was really nice. Another person offered to actually review any of my application materials, which I may take them up on it because one part of the application is a research proposal and I've never really written one before. It was really heartening. One of the PhD candidates that I spoke with, they actually said, you seem like a perfect candidate in terms of what you want to do and the fact that you already have an idea, but I don't want to get my hopes up. Good morning. It is November 8th. I have been working somewhat on trying to get everything together. Most of the time I am just trying to get in touch with my professors. So this is the admissions applications page for PhD and master's applicants to Yale. This is the part that I am looking at. And this is the recommendations page. You have to submit at least 3, and the PhD program recommends that 2 of them have tenure at a law school. I think trying to get in touch with former professors, especially law professors, is one of the hardest parts of applying for anything. It's always good to keep in touch with your professors. So, you know, 2 years out, check in, send them an update, because when it comes time for them to write your recommendation, like, they will ultimately come through, but trying to get a hold of them can be challenging. I was talking with someone who had experience with the application process, and we were sharing stories about how we had friends who, in order to get a letter of recommendation from a professor, they had to send an email every single day. Every single day. One thing I like to do in order to make sure that things are constantly moving is occasionally when I finish something else of my application, for example, my research proposal, or if you were writing a personal statement, your personal statement, to also send that to the professor or your recommender and say, hey, just as an update, I finished blah, 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 or here's a draft of this is for our discussion. This is also a good strategy for client management at the firm I found, which is if something has happened or you can update a document and send it out again, it can be a good way to nudge clients on things that you need rather than just sending emails saying, hey, checking on this, checking in on this, because it's nice to see some sort of movement and some prompt, and it's more like an inflection point, which is a little less annoying to get a reminder about than just something outstanding. And I wanted to give y'all an update on my discussion with my professor. The discussion with him went pretty well. He seems to think that I would be a great candidate for the program, which was really a vote of confidence that I was surprised by, but also really enjoyed. He requested, and I still have to write him a statement about why I am the more than perfect person for this position, blah, 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 which I think he'll probably take from in writing his own recommendation letter. So I need to do that this week and try to toot my own horn as it is. Overall, I am encouraged by his reaction. He's just someone that I respect deeply, that I think is so smart. So I think this is good. It is November 27th, Saturday. So it has been approximately a month since I decided to apply for this PhD. Lately, I have been feeling very, very stressed about this whole process. I just hate failing so much. Having done some self-reflection, it probably stems from the fact that when I was growing up, I felt like I always had to succeed in order to be loved. I always had to do well in order to be worthy. That's why every single moment before a potential failure feels so profound and so monumental, even though life honestly should just be a series of failures and successes. Both. That's life. And you can't have successes without some failures. And then the second thing that I think makes me a little nervous about this whole process is I know some things about legal academia, but not everything. I am always afraid, and this is true for being a law firm associate too, is that I will have to change myself and who I am in order to fit into the environment that I am in. There is a degree to how much you can put on a certain hat without feeling like you are changing or you are becoming a different person. And I'm just always aware of that line. I never really want to sell who I am or change too much who I am in order to get the result that I want. I am worried that academia is sort of a rat race, just like, or perhaps even more so than being at a law firm. And that rat race has the potential to inherently change who you are and change what your values are. So I sent my first draft of my research proposal to one of the existing PhD candidates who gave me some comments, mostly about how I should make it a bit more academic leaning, because while I do want to write a book, the legal job market is very articles focused. So they think I need to tailor my research proposal into making it a little bit more articles focused rather than purely book focused as it currently is. My personal statement is coming along. Tonight is a night that I am dedicating to writing this. It's approximately 3 hours later, and I don't know, guys, I'm feeling pretty defeated. I feel stupid for even trying to apply for this program. I feel stupid for spending so much time on something that I'm not going to succeed at, and I just feel completely ill-equipped and like I should just go back to doing what I'm good at, which is being an associate. I didn't get good grades in law school. I wasn't on law review. I have 0 publications, and I just feel woefully underqualified for what I am trying to do, and it just sucks. Hello everyone. It is December 5th, 2021, aka 10 days until applications are officially due. I found it really hard to work on my application during the weekday. I've just been feeling really burnt out from work lately. Doing work and the workday has been a lot more mentally and emotionally draining than normally. So I've decided to dedicate parts of weekends, like tonight, Sunday evening, to writing and revising my application materials. It may not seem like it, but I'm actually a pretty huge procrastinator. If something monumental, if there's like a big assignment, I have such a hard time starting it. Once I get into it, I want to stay up all night. I am pretty unstoppable, but the thought sometimes of getting into things and starting things, ugh. And I feel like I'm still in that phase right now where the revision process, it is so hard to get into. All right, let's go. It is December 12th, which means that there are 3 days until the application is due. Tonight, I am dedicating to writing my personal statements and addenda. I've never really done a diversity statement before or submitted any other addenda, but I think I am going to this time because there are some distinct things that I want to say that I think add to my story. For my diversity statement, well, they don't really call it that, but like that's what it is. I was thinking about why I love thinking about rules so much and the law. It is because I'm an immigrant. When I first arrived in America, I was 4 or 5, and I remember getting here and realizing that I did not know what anything was. There were social things that I just didn't understand. I went to a summer camp. I think I was either 6 or 8, I don't remember. So I remember going to the summer camp and just not really understanding what was going on, because of course my English wasn't very good. And even though I didn't really know the language, didn't know what was going on, I knew I wanted friends and I wanted to fit in. Because I didn't know how to be, I observed others so much. I would figure out like what they said, the candy that they bought at breaks, and all these like little social cues of belonging. And I would tell myself, okay, Cece, you have to do that. You should also try buying warheads. And I think those experiences made me just hyper aware of what the norms are in any given situation, and also realize just how malleable norms are and societal rules are. That's why I love thinking about things like laws and regulations, because those are the subtle rules that shape our society and how we are, and like norms. And then for my other addendum, I'm gonna write about TikTok because I feel like I would be really amiss to leave it out. It is a pretty big part now of who I am. The same principles that undergird my TikTok account, such as being able to democratize information, teaching people about things that took me a while to figure out, trying to make these subtle rules and norms that are kind of overarching our society into visible things so that people see them. Those are things that I would like to do as an academic as well. I think that's what really excites me about being potentially a professor, is being able to teach students and write articles showing how there are different rules that we might not see, and creating new connections and new ways of thinking about things. And that's just really exciting to me. Hello. I had originally intended on kind of just like taking off today, off of work, so that I could focus on my applications. But of course, like, things are blowing up and things have to be done today, and I've just never felt more stressed. I keep on telling myself that, you know, my second or third draft is probably okay. It's probably okay, but like, I'm usually a draft 10 person before I send something, and I just feel so overwhelmed by everything, and like everything is trying to get in the way of me doing this program, of me doing really anything else with my life. Like, I understand why people quit law firms before they even have another job, because who has time to find a job when you're working at a law firm? You just don't. And this entire time, when I've like wanted to sleep the most and knew I needed to sleep the most, I've just been waking up at like 6 a.m. after going to sleep at like 1 or 2 because I'm trying to like revise my application materials until then. And I'm so tired. I'm so tired and I can't sleep. I hate this feeling. I hate being so tired but so stressed that you can't sleep. And the only thing you can do is try to carry on. Oh my god. Alright, I'm gonna just try and finish work as quickly as possible. And then hopefully, like, you know, try to come to terms with the fact that I will probably be submitting version 5 of my application materials and maybe not version 10, and it's not going to be as good, and it's definitely not going to be perfect, and hopefully that's okay. It's like 9:40 p.m. and I am no longer having a meltdown. I managed to do my work and wrap up kind of by 3:30. Could then focus and shift over to my application stuff. I still have some stuff to do, but I think things are in kind of an okay place. So I'm just gonna keep on working the rest of the night until they get to a place where I feel like I can just tomorrow give it a light read, a light proof, and submit it. I just can't believe I had such a meltdown. I think I was also just really tired. Just really tired from not sleeping a lot. This entire process is really driving me crazy. But it's over tomorrow. It's over at 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. I think the bags under my eyes have just gotten darker and increased exponentially since I started this process, and definitely within the past few days. I can't even really look at myself in the mirror anymore because I think my eye bags are just so bad. Oh well, it'll be over in like a little over 25 hours, 26 hours? No, it'll be over in a little over 26 hours. I'm excited. I'm excited to also then sleep. Good morning, it is December 15th, aka the deadline day. The wrinkle in all of this is one of my recommenders still has not submitted their letter of recommendation. That means that today I need to do some chasing. So I've sent an email separately from the normal thread with due today just in caps at the top, and I'm also going to call their assistant and just try to see if there's anything I can do about making sure that this gets in front of them. Really not that much different than chasing a partner that is hard to get a hold of, and I'm really glad that 5 years in Big Law has gotten me this training. Update. The last professor got back to me and said that they are on track. They are finalizing it today and asked for my personal statement, which is still kind of a work in progress, but I sent them my most recent draft. I was planning on trying to call this professor around 3 p.m. today if I didn't hear back from them by then, but it turns out I don't need to. Yay. My last professor has submitted their recommendation. After they submitted it, they sent me an email saying, here's an enthymeme, ENTHYMEME for you, which means an argument in which one premise is not explicitly stated. So I actually did get out my pen and paper to do kind of like LSAT logical reasoning diagramming again. Premise 1, if they don't admit you, they won't admit anyone. Premise 2, they will admit someone. What is the unstated premise? It's that they will admit me, I think. I diagrammed it out. I think that's what it means. I thought that was a really cute way of being confident in me because I do not feel confident in myself right now, and I have less than 6 hours to finish my part of the application. I am pretty much done. I think I'm gonna do a final read through and then start submitting to see if like anything weird happens in formatting. If I need a double space, I probably do any particular font, and start submitting around 10:30. Give myself a good hour. I'm gonna sit on the couch and try a final read through. Okay, I am feeling pretty good about this. So I am now going to just go to the admission page and go to the portal and submit. .59 p.m. and I am on the certification page. Here we go. I'm about to sign and certify that everything I'm submitting is correct and complete. So I just hit submit. Now I'm paying the fee, which is $105. Whew. Oh my God, guys, I have submitted it. If you ever wanted to see what picking my fingers looks like, it looks like this. Cute. It's just entirely decimated.